girl watched her mother die right in front of her, yet she stood there silently. The tears running down her face showed how broken she was inside. Soon after, armed men killed her father too, but she refused to show fear. Before dying, her father said, "Daughter, I love you." Her mother had always taught her that no matter how bad things got, she should never show fear on her face. She remembered her mother's words and stayed strong. Now, she had nothing left to lose. Several armed men approached her. One of them sat down and demanded the chip. She spotted a knife hidden under the table and grabbed it when she saw her chance. Then she suddenly jumped through the window and escaped. One man kept firing, but he couldn't see her. She hid the chip in her mouth, jumped down, and ran. The armed men chased her, but she didn't hesitate and jumped straight into a sewer. They kept firing, unaware of how costly it would be to let her escape. Eventually, she reached Chicago and met her uncle. The moment she saw him, all her buried emotions came rushing back and she broke down crying. The next day at dinner, her uncle asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" She replied, "A hitman." Avenging her parents' deaths had become her only purpose. But years later, two police officers were eating in their car when another vehicle suddenly crashed into them. A stylish woman stumbled out, clearly drunk. The police arrested her, but recognized her by the necklace around her neck. It was Catalina. However, they had no idea that her arrest was already part of her plan. That night, she had to kill a prisoner. After dark, Catalina put on a black ops suit, picked the cell lock with a hairpin, and removed the monitor from the wall. She then carried a spoon and a glass of water to the electrical room. She opened the ventilation, jammed the spoon into the electrical switch, and made a tiny hole in the glass so the water would drip slowly like a timer. She crawled into the ventilation shaft and waited near the spinning fan. When the water reached the electrical wires, the power went out and the fan stopped. Catalina used the opportunity to move. At the same time, the prisoner's guard went to the bathroom. She suddenly appeared behind him and knocked him unconscious. She dragged him to the prison door, showed the enemy his weapon, removed his shirt, and fired. Hearing the gunshots, the other officers rushed over, but found only a frightened cop holding a gun. Catalina reached the roof and hung from the railing, escaping the officers chasing her. She then returned to her cell and quickly changed her appearance. During the investigation, she convinced the police that she had nothing to do with the crime. They found a hot air balloon with red markings at the scene, but couldn't identify the real culprit. But for Catalina, this was only the beginning. The girl who had watched her parents die before her eyes had grown up. Her name was Catalina, and now she had only one purpose: to avenge her parents' deaths.